The next part of our program, after we do our opening musician, is something we like to call a community moment. And if you're new to Oasis, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the program. What we do is we invite somebody to come up from the community and just spend about 10 minutes talking about really anything they want. We've had lots of different topics. Sometimes it's someone's journey to free thought. Other times it's some kind of quirky hobby that they like. Today we are excited to welcome back for his second community moment, Joshua Richards, who's been a member of our community here for some time now. Everybody, please welcome Joshua.
Good morning. And I really want to highlight that part that Jesse said about whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
I wish y'all would have told me that sooner. All right, we're going to throw this out. So there's a little title in there, and it's Preaching Better News, but I just wanted to kind of share a little bit. So one of the coolest moments of all of 2016 for me was it was not only kind of getting to share a little bit last time, but to have a recording of that, and I got to share that with a few members of my family. I have some nieces who are in the throes of their teenage years, and they're really starting to kind of figure out who they are, what they believe, what they think, and talking with them is something that I've always loved, watching them grow up. And the most inspiring thing was sharing a video where I talked a little bit about how, probably a fact about me, if you don't know, I say it all the damn time, how I was a minister for 5 years, and I spent 2 more years working in churches before that. It's a big part of who I am, and in a lot of ways, I still consider myself a preacher. I think the heart of the New Testament, or at least preachers in our day, is saving people from hell, and in a lot of ways, I see myself doing something analogous. It's an idea I think to be pretty cruel and probably the most misshapen progeny of the human spirit. And so it's a big deal to me to try and help tell people the good news that that's really a bunch of nonsense and it's really nothing to worry about. But my niece, right? So sharing this with her, the most inspiring thing to me was after talking about this with her and showing her this video, she said probably something that I'll never forget. And she goes, "Man, that's so cool. I want to be an atheist." Man, I'm like, "Dear, just look in your heart. And if you do not believe in God, then you are already there. You are already there." And the interesting thing is I'm sure y'all have seen this, there's some weird stereotypes about atheists. When you tell people you don't believe that, especially when you're like, "Well, yeah, as a minister now, I don't buy any of that," there's usually 2 kind of responses I get on the extremes. One is like, "You are a nihilist. There's no meaning. Like, so what? Life's just meaningless. It's worthless, and all of that." Or there's another response that is even more peculiar to me, which people are like, "So what? You worship Satan? Like you're on his side now? Like that's in premarital sex and bacon and all that?" And I mean, those are great things, and it doesn't help my case that I own a collection of like satanic T-shirts that I wear, ironically, but the shirts are unironic. Anyway, getting on down to it. So, like I said, when I first started to really doubt my faith, and this all ties together with this whole Preaching Better News thing. I had a friend once rebuke me. That's a nice Christian word, rebuke. He got in my face when I told him I was starting to doubt, and I was thinking, look, I'd already liberalized to a certain point. And so he's like, "So what, Josh? All that stuff, all that goodness, all that wanting to reach out to other people, all that compassion, what are you saying? God's voice was just your own the whole time?" Yeah. Yeah, it took a while for me to get there, but hell yeah, you just put that better than I could. And that's something that he said it, and I can't ever really get that conversation out of my head, because how cool is that? That concept of goodness, all of those things, while you tell yourself, "I'm not worthy, the best I can do is soiled rags," it says in the book of Isaiah, but in our own hearts, there is indeed goodness. There is indeed something wonderful, something noumenal, which is a fancy word that means transcendent. So, my doubts certainly weren't encouraged. And furthermore, when you start to tell people that, especially when you've worked in the ministry, coming from a tradition like mine, which is Calvinist, it's either that you were never authentic in the first place, or you're just not one of God's chosen, which sucks. So I want to kind of go back to what I said earlier about how there's some people who they just challenge you with this whole, well, life is meaningless. I get that a lot, and I've never thought that. And I don't think anybody here thinks that. It's very rare you find somebody who really believes that, and I don't think that comes from atheism. I think it comes from something much more serious. However, about 4 months after I had lost all my faith, I thought I just had to get out there and share. So I got in touch with somebody with the Humanists of Houston, and I decided I was going to go and tell my story, and it was going to be great. And it was awesome. But at the end, there was this young lady there, and you could just see she was wanted, after an hour of me going on, she was just ready to kind of like attack me. And so they opened it up for questions after I shared this story. And she gives a question I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard. Well, you know, if you're an atheist, what meaning is there in your life? What good is there? What motivation to be good? Why live? What motivates you? And like a smartass, I said the first thing that came out of my mind, and I'm like, have you ever had sex or ice cream? And think about it though, it's not just a snarky joke, but I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that. I mean, Ben and Jerry's, that doesn't just appear in the supermarket. There's work. They gotta put little stuff in there in relationships, love, that. It's a lot of work. It's not always just, you know, anyway, I thought more of it than when I spat that out, but that's a question I get all the time. That's something that people, and not only people who are trying to make me look stupid in public, but people, they really ask me that. They're like, well, you're an atheist. And they really want to know. And I'm kind of, and me, as much as I love to talk, I love to explain to them that absolutely. Like Aristotle, David Hume, there are all these people who don't fit in to the traditional theistic mold who write beautifully about how wonderful life is. I'll just jump straight to the quote I had at the end. One of the things that inspires me, one of the only comprehensible things ever wrote by Martin Heidegger, a philosopher, was that because life is so short, it makes it so meaningful, it's precious. And to me, that's great news. The great news isn't just that all this hell stuff is a bunch of nonsense. The great news is that life is short, life is beautiful. This is a gift. This is like the ultimate finding $100 bill on the sidewalk. You get this chance to live and to find friends and to develop loving relationships. Well, what more meaning could you want? And there's sex and ice cream. I mean, all of that, that's great. And so one of the things that I find myself saying to people is I find myself preaching the good news of atheism. That's something that I've started to do. There will be more talks this year. I'm sure I'll push them all on you later. But that's something that I feel so excited about. I want to do that. I want to keep preaching. That's something that's a part of my identity, and for better or worse, I'm going to keep doing it. Because the exciting and scary thing is that there is no big meaning of life. It's just not there. That doesn't mean the whole nihilist thing. The truth as I see it is that there's meaning in life. Like the existentialists say, you have to make it. You find that in loving relationships or baseball cards or whatever the hell it is that you love, whatever it is that gets you up in the morning that doesn't, harm anybody else, whatever it is that makes you smile. That's something that you need to investigate and see if it's something you can keep going with. That's something you should explore. And so, that's something that it inspires me. There's no big meaning, and one of the problems with that also comes up is what people like Søren Kierkegaard call paralysis. There's this whole terror that comes with this realization that you are responsible for your own life. Your days will be up, and it'll be some other highly evolved, hairless ape's turn to live their life. So make the most of it. Absolutely. Take responsibility. And so here's what I believe to be the better news. Is it's not shattering people's faith and telling them it's all a bunch of nonsense. That's not the better news. The better news isn't just that hell is this gross, lurid fantasy. It's that time is short. And the best thing you can do with your life is to develop love with people, love with yourself, love with things in the world, make you happy, and to encourage that. Because, like I said, time is short. I don't reify, thingify the concept of love. Love doesn't trump hate. Not always. Love doesn't always win. And the good news is love doesn't have to. It doesn't matter. Love doesn't stop gulags. Love doesn't stop everything. There's a lot of things that have to stop that. But love, it's something that it's a gift. It's something that you kind of have to cultivate for yourself. And so this is the good news, is that you have time, and you're going to die one day, and it's finite. There's nothing after that. And so that's really precious. The good news is that you can totally take your time, whether it's little or whether it's a lot, and build something totally awesome out of that. That to me inspires me. That to me encourages me to make the most, to say fewer stupid things, to embarrass myself, to, bother my girlfriend with stupid jokes less. And that's what I live for. And I hope to keep doing this, keep sharing this good news with people, that life is awesome. It's a gift. And so, wrapping this all up, find something you love. Tell people that you love them. Make the most of your time. Have friendships. Watch a concert. Have sex. Do some weird shit. Seriously. Because one day, you're not going to wake up. But for now, you are. So enjoy that shit. Thank you.